Welcome to Etihad Focus, your number one spot for the latest match updates, transfer news, and inside training coverage. If you love football, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any breaking updates. Let's get started. Man City player ratings versus Nottingham Forest as Rayan Cherki stars, but 1-5-10. Manchester City beat Nottingham Forest at the City ground with a late winner from Rayan Cherki, giving them a 2-1 victory. Rayan Cherki was the Manchester City match winner again, as his late goal earned the Blues all 3 points at the City ground. Pep Guardiola's side lost here last season, and Forest were hoping for the same result after finding their way back on level terms in the second half. A gritty first half had seen few chances created on either side, yet the Blues struck first when Cherki sent Tijjani Reijnders through, and the midfielder finished smartly. However, Omari Hutchinson levelled things up for Sean Dyche's side, and they were urged on by the home crowd. Cherki was happy to play the Christmas party pooper though, with a terrific shot fired through bodies from a corner to find the net and give City a very important win. 3 Manchester City stars at risk as Pep Guardiola faces nightmare scenario. Manchester City face Nottingham Forest in the Premier League on Saturday lunchtime, with the chance to go top of the table ahead of Arsenal's game against Brighton. Manchester City visit Nottingham Forest on Saturday, aiming to extend their winning run to 8 matches in all competitions. The Blues have cut the gap at the top of the Premier League to leaders Arsenal to 2 points, as well as reaching the Carabao Cup semi-finals and moving within touching distance of securing a top 8 spot in the Champions League phase. Pep Guardiola's side have found their stride in recent weeks, but there is one potential issue on the horizon in the form of a triple suspension headache. Gianluigi Donnarumma has been one booking from a ban since late November, while Nico Gonzalez collected his 4th yellow card of the season in the win over West Ham last time out. Captain Bernardo Silva is also one caution away from a suspension. It means one more caution for any of the trio will lead to a one-match ban. That would be a particular issue in the case of Gonzalez, given the lack of alternative options in the middle of midfield, with Rodri and Mateo Kovacic sidelined. City would also miss Donnarumma's presence, such has been his form since signing in the summer, although James Trafford is a capable deputy, while Bernardo has been an integral part of the City side. The good news for City fans is that the trip to Sunderland on New Year's Day is the cut-off point for 5 bookings leading to a suspension. If Donnarumma, Bernardo and Gonzalez come through the next 2 matches without a yellow card, then they would only pick up a ban if they collected 10 yellow cards in the first 32 games of the Premier League season. A booking for any of the 3 on Saturday at Forest would mean them missing the Sunderland game, while if one of the trio picked up a yellow card at the Stadium of the Light, they would miss the home game with Chelsea next weekend. Rodri, Doku, Bob, Manchester City injury news and return dates ahead of Nottingham Forest. Manchester City return to action on Saturday when they visit Nottingham Forest in the Premier League's early kickoff. With Manchester City unusually not playing on Boxing Day, it is a return to Premier League action for the Blues on Saturday when they visit Nottingham Forest. Pep Guardiola's side sit in a good position as we head towards 2026, having won 7 in a row prior to Christmas. On top of that, the City manager could also be missing up to 5 players heading into the new year. So with this in mind, Men's Sport has taken a look at the Blues' current injury list before the trip down to Forest. City fans will have been hopeful of seeing Rodri back in a matchday squad before the end of 2025. But as the year has edged towards its conclusion, this has looked less and less likely to happen. Guardiola has also stressed the need to be cautious on returning Rodri back to competitive football. The City manager recently said, "We have 5 days before Nottingham Forest Sunderland." Nottingham-Sunderland, maybe a few of them will start to be back. The Belgian suffered an injury during the victory over Real Madrid, and Guardiola has stated a return to the team is likely from New Year's Day onwards. Like Rodri, Bob is another one suffering with a hamstring injury. The Norwegian felt his during the opening 20 minutes of the victory over Brentford in the Carabao Cup. Bob will have been assessed by the City medical staff, and his return is most likely towards the end of next month. Stones is the main hope in terms of a City return on Saturday. Kolo Touré was confident before the Crystal Palace win that Stones would not be out for too much longer. With Guardiola stating some players could start returning against Forest, Stones seems to be in the best position to do that. Kovacic remains the only long-term absentee in the City squad. Guardiola was pessimistic in November regarding his return date, stating it would more than likely be the latter stages of the season when the former Chelsea man returns. Inside the Manchester United and Man City interest in Antoine Semenyo. Manchester United and Manchester City are interested in signing Bournemouth forward Antoine Semenyo in January. Bournemouth forward Antoine Semenyo is likely to be the talk of the January transfer window, with the Premier League's top clubs all vying for his signature next month. On New Year's Day, a release clause of £65 million will go live for a limited time, and both Manchester United and Manchester City are weighing up activating it. Semenyo has scored 8 goals and bagged 3 assists this season, and while he could be available in the summer, no team looks willing to take this risk. Reports suggest City are Semenyo's preferred destination, but United are not thought to be out of the running. The 25-year-old is the latest star player ready to make a move to a top club, but exactly who that will be remains to be seen. So with Semenyo's future firmly in the balance, Men's Sport has asked United and City writers Tyrone Marshall and Simon Bajkowski for the state of play at the Manchester clubs surrounding Semenyo and transfers. Yes. United's financial situation is much improved from a year ago, and they are now more comfortable with their compliance with profit and sustainability rules, which are coming to an end anyway. They spent more than expected in the summer, and much of it was on what United saw as favourable payment terms, so they can make this deal happen, especially as it was a move they had planned for the summer anyway. United feel they are in with a chance, so the indications are he is open to it. They aren't making smooth progress towards qualifying next season either, but you feel that it is there for them if they can put the pedal down. There is still an attraction to playing for this club, despite what has happened in the last few years. I think he fits in as both, and that will be a big attraction to United. If everyone is fit and available, I would expect him to get in the team as a left wing-back, with Ahmad on the right and Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo as the number 10s. That would give United significant firepower and a much more attacking outlook. But Semenyo can play on both flanks and through the middle, and the fact he could cover so many of those positions in a Amorim system makes him doubly attractive. As a left wing-back, he is an upgrade on everyone. Diogo Dalot has done a respectable job there, and Patrick Dorgu looked better at Villa Park, but it is still a problem position. Semenyo could fill it. And as an option, as another number 10, he is clearly better than Joshua Zirkzee as well. He would be a major upgrade at left wing-back, and as the 3rd or 4th number 10. Semenyo is a wide option in a team that is not flush with them. Pep Guardiola has moved away from using his wingers really this season, even moving Jeremy Doku inside. Semenyo can play on either flank and so could give City extra options of playing, but at the same time he will also be expected to add extra dimensions to his game. In terms of the current squad, he would definitely move ahead of Oscar Bob. The Norwegian hasn't recovered from the leg fracture that robbed him of a breakthrough at the beginning of the 2023/24 campaign, so is looking vulnerable in the January window. Semenyo would also be expected to challenge with Savinho, who he has outperformed this season with Bournemouth, and Doku for a place in the team. More than anything with a January signing, you want somebody who can fit straight into the team. Semenyo is a bit different in the sense he's only moving in January because of opportunity for him and Bournemouth, but the fact he is Premier League proven is perfect for a manager looking to make sure he has a squad capable of going far in all competitions. 5 transfers Manchester City could complete in January: Semenyo, sales and squad calls. Manchester City are keen on Antoine Semenyo, and it could be a busy January transfer window at the Etihad. Manchester City have generally been quiet observers in the January transfer window. Then 2025 happened. The Blues were in the grip of a dreadful run of form, and Pep Guardiola and Cherki Begiristain acted. The City rebuild Guardiola felt could be conducted in the summer was brought forward, and the Blues spent nearly £200 million in strengthening the squad, more than half the total outlay of Premier League clubs. Omar Marmoush and Nico Gonzalez arrived as first-team options, while Vitor Reis and Abdulkadir Kusanov were signed with the future in mind. It was by far the busiest January window in recent times for City, who also offloaded long-term captain Kyle Walker on loan. As we prepare for the 2026 January window to open, City are again expected to be active. Here's 5 transfers that could happen next month. City are actively looking at the Bournemouth man, who has a £65 million release clause in his contract that can be activated in January. The 25-year-old is almost certain to leave the Cherries, and a clutch of clubs are keen on his services, including Manchester United. Chelsea are also interested, and Liverpool are long-term admirers. Tottenham have been credited with